soon as y'all see that it gets slower, y'all just start panicking, sweating underneath y'all armpits. Y'all start trying to rape y'all customers by giving them double the prices, quadruple the prices because the demand is slower. No, or you might even just take less money and then end up not even being able to cover your expenses. So what I do is I do something simple. I put somebody in a long term instead of short term. So what we do normally is short term rentals. Airbnb, that's a short term rental. That means that instead of somebody staying in there for 6 months at a time, they stay in there for 6 days at a time. That's a short term rental, or 1 day or 2 days minimum. Same thing with the rental cars. Rental cars are normally short term rentals. You normally give somebody a car for 1 or 2 days and then they bring it back. So what we do is we go into a method where we try to get people in there for a longer term. So let me break it down for y'all, for those who don't get what I'm saying. So normally, if you will push out a Lamborghini, let's just use a Lamborghini for an example. I'm not saying you have to do this. Let's say I got a Lamborghini Urus. It normally goes out for $1,500 a day. That's when it's fast season, it's summer, it's spring, it's just high season, it's Christmas time, it's, all of that. New Year's, all of these different times. So we got this fast season, right? And then when everybody tries to get back to work and get serious, January, February, March, right? January, February, March is normally slow season for a lot of people, if you don't know. So it starts to slow down. People stop reaching out about that Lambo, right? Some people start saying, I'm about to stack my bread up. It's new year, new me. I'm going to start investing, right? So what we normally do is we find one of our good customers who have been loyal, who have been trustworthy, and we say, you like to get this Lambo all the time. How about I make you a deal? And all I'm going to do is make sure they cover the car note and the insurance, and they put like a couple $100s in my pocket. Now, what does that do for me? That gives one of my customers who have showed loyalty to me, I give them a break. This is an over delivery. I let them be able to keep a car that they really want to have, that they didn't have the credit for, they didn't have the cash for to buy, but they can rent it and take care of the note and the insurance and give me a couple $100s on top during the slow season. So I might give it to them for a month and let them do month to month for a couple months at a lower rate. But I'm not going in debt. I'm not going in the hole. I'm not losing. I'm winning. I won during the whole entire fast season and doubled the profit, tripled the profit. And then during slow season, I also still made profit, but just by a little bit until it comes back down to the fast season where I can go back to STRs. Same thing goes for cribs. When you're talking about an Airbnb, you're talking about a short-term rental. If people slow down with doing events, which is normally not the case because I'm doing mansions, but even with an apartment, when I was doing the apartments and they got a little bit slower, I found out a person who is loyal, who always rents the crib, always needs to use it. And I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you get it for exactly what the rent is, plus whatever whatever expenses you have, the lights, the water, the gas, and then make a couple $100s on top. And they keep you afloat over the slower season. This is what we call adapting. We're not just sitting on our hands. We're not using our cash reserves. That's insane. We're not using our cash reserves for this shit. We are going to constantly be profitable. Does that make sense? We are going to constantly be profitable. Everybody put profit. Everybody put profit in the chat. We are going to constantly be profitable, okay? I want y'all to learn this stuff because some of y'all too cheap to get mentorship, so I got to give it to y'all in doses for free. So y'all better listen up because I'm trying to get you your cash, fam. I'm trying to get you that bag, fam. I'm trying to have it to where every season you are in the profit. A lot of people are doing the opposite. Every season they are in the negative. And guess what? The worst thing about it is a lot of people that are in the negative, they want to appear as if they are not in the negative. And then they got to keep a front up in front of you. They got to put up a front. They got to act as if they're still doing well, even though they're going in the negative. And now the reason I understand that too as well, because guess what? When you look like you need it, what happens, y'all? Y'all can tell me in the chat. When it look like somebody need money, like they like scratching, they got the Harriet Tubman grandson hairline, they looking bummy, and they hitting you up, they blowing up your line, they trying to do work, they trying to do business together. Yo, come on, man, we gotta get on this, we gotta get on this. They look like they need it. What does that mean? If they look like they need it, nobody wants to work with them. Nobody wants to do business with them. So that's why it's even different, because you got to make it still look good even when it's not good. It's all about perception. So again, you don't want to have to be in that situation. I know a lot of NFL players, a lot of ex-athletes, old rappers who have to do this on a constant basis to even get their bags right now. They can't look like they're not making much money because it makes them look bad. So what would I rather do for you guys? I would rather you guys stay profitable. I would rather you guys know how to adapt constantly, no matter where the peaks and valleys are. Look, I don't care if it's Amazon. I don't care if it's Tesla. I don't care what business it is. Any business has peaks and valleys. Every one of them go up and down, up and down. You got a season where it's going crazy and you're making a lot of money. You got a season where it just slows down just a little bit. You got a season where it gets crazy up, 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 up. And then you got a season where it's just like right here in the middle. But no matter what's going on in the climate of the economy, you got to be able to adapt, right? So I want you guys to realize this. You have the ability to get that knowledge and use it to your advantage. I'm never in the negative only because I was in the negative so much when I first started out. I made my mistakes early and I learned exactly what to do to balance my numbers. Everybody has to say that. Everybody say, know your numbers. Know your numbers. Knowing your numbers will keep you profitable. Knowing that if you spend this amount of money in this month, you're going to make less. You're going to be in the hole. If you keep constantly paying for this recurring service right here during the slow months, you are literally you got to know your numbers to know that. So look, I use a lot of different softwares every month, right? I pay on a recurring retainer for a lot of them, like my email list. You're talking about like platforms like Go High Level, platforms like ClickFunnels. You paying for these monthly. I pay for subscriptions for trackers. I pay for insurances, right? All of these things are during the slow season and the fast season, they need to be paid, right? So what do? During the slow season, a lot of the things that I use, I don't need to use no more, right? Because just like I told y'all earlier, if I'm going to put a car on a long-term rental, do I still need to be paying for my phone service where we're answering all these phone calls and I'm paying $1,000 a month to answer calls that we can't even satisfy right now? If I know it's slower and I'm going to get a lot less calls, I can just have, instead of having a whole team of people answering the phone, I can just have one person answering the phone during business hours. I can save that $1,000 a month. So during the slow season, I just get rid of that subscription just until it's back to fast season where I'm going to have a lot of people calling. Same thing goes with certain trackers and certain things like that. Like if you're going above and beyond during the fast season, when it comes to slow season, shouldn't you be adjusting? What do y'all think? Drop a 1 in the chat if you should be adjusting. But I know y'all not doing that. A lot of y'all keep paying no matter what. I got a CPA and accountant that I pay $3,000 a month to manage all of my businesses. I talked to her the other day. I was like, look, it's slow season. Normally we paying $3,000 a month. Let's see what we can do about that retainer. I said, this business that I had right here, I'm no longer going to be using it. I'm canceling that business right here. The taxes have been filed. Everything has been done. This business doesn't need you to go over the books because it's only making deposits. It's not doing any type of subscriptions or expenses from the business. Let's go ahead and take that retainer down from $3,000. We're going to pay her $1,000 a month. You don't do that though. Y'all just let that motherfucker just recur every season. And then y'all come to me and be like, Mitch, man, I don't know. I'm trying to stay profitable, but I don't know what to do. The problem is that y'all are not used to running a business. So when it's slower season, you didn't make the adjustment for slower season. I make the adjustment every year. So I see when everybody start looking like they need help. I see it. I see when people start to have to put up that front like, yo, I got my money still, but yo, that's work. And being very, very aggressive to try to work with everybody. And everybody's telling you no because you're like a person who has a credit report that has 100 hard inquiries. You like that person who goes to a bank and you got 100 hard inquiries and you ask them to get a credit card. My boy, you just asked everybody in the Northern Hemisphere to borrow credit. And then you're going to come to me last like I'm going to be the dummy that's going to give you the credit. So that's how you look when you put yourself in that position. But it's all about actually having a plan, knowing your numbers, understanding the business. You got to understand the peaks and valleys of the business. You can look at the market for any business damn near and see when it's going to slow down. I just told y'all, January, February is always slow for my businesses. As far as the customers, like the customers are not going to come as frequent as they did during New Year's, Christmas time, during Thanksgiving time. Just think about those holidays. Everybody wants to rent cars. Everybody wants to rent properties during that time. Everybody wants to do something big for New Year's, a party, and have an event at a crib. Everybody wants to have a nice car to pull up to these events. All through these holidays, all through the year is good. But January, February, March is always going to be a little bit slower. Even if you got followings like me and a demand that I have, I'm not going to sugarcoat it to y'all. I have an abnormal amount of demand for my business because I have a social media platform that took me years to build up. And now I have a lot more people reaching out to me than an average person. And I understand that. But even with my following, I still have to adjust according to the economy. I have to know the numbers. I know what my car notes are every month. I know what my mortgage is every month. I know exactly how many customers I need to get to cover these. I know if I have to, instead of doing short-term rentals, I have to turn them into long-term rentals. You guys have to do that type of audit to your business. So even with my recurring subscriptions to ClickFunnels, Kajabi, things of that nature, I have to realize, I have to say, okay, cool. If I'm paying $400 a month during the slow season when I'm only making this amount of money for the business, I need to get rid of these 2 subscriptions. But you only can make that decision if you know your numbers. Some of y'all are going in y'all business and y'all telling people y'all making $25,000 a month when really that's revenue. You're not netting $25,000. So what you need to realize is, where do I need to be at profit every month? So when it gets to slow season, what do I need to do? Everybody put adjust. Everybody put adjust in the chat. Some of y'all need to be adjusting right now. This live came right on time for somebody right now. Some of y'all still about to pay next month that $100 a month. Bow. Some of y'all going to pay $500 a month for this subscription. Bow. Some of y'all going to pay for this service or whatever. Bow. Y'all going to pay. But just because you watched this live, you were able to figure out that you need to make some adjustments for 2024 for you to be scaling. It's just smart. It's just a strategy. It's just a plan. It's just being prepared. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So during this slow season, I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm chilling. I just got back from Jamaica and I made double the amount of money that I even made the last month already because I understood the adjustment, and I had lower expenses because I prepared myself. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you guys have to be prepared to do as CEOs of your companies. This is what you guys need to be prepared to do as business owners. If you want to last the hand of time. You want to be able to be one of those businesses that are around 5 years from now, 6 years from now. Some of y'all want the get rich quick scheme stuff, right? Y'all want to make money for 1 month, 1 year, and then be done with it and retire. But I'm not in that game. I understand that it's delayed gratification. I understand that it takes time to build a community. It takes time to build up experience, skill sets, strategies, good habits, and break those bad habits. It takes a little bit of time. So if you guys want to learn how to do these things, you got to stay close to the campfire as much as possible, because some of y'all, just because y'all watch this live, you have now been prepared for what you need to do for 2024 to scale. All right. If this live has already been helpful for you, I'm just getting started. If this live has already been helpful for you, drop a 1 in the chat. If this live has already been helpful for you, drop a 1 in the chat. Chelsea, I know it's raining. I'm thinking we might need to hit like the mall or something and do it. I think we can do it in that like walk by traffic. That also is favored in the algorithm. So I'll hit you up after I get off this live. Yep. If this already been helpful, drop a 1 in the chat. That's good. All right, now, knowing your numbers isn't enough though. So after you know your numbers, a lot of times, this is the thing right here. This is the thing. A lot of times we are working in our business, so we don't have the time to be able to look down at it from a bird's eye view. You know what I'm saying? The only reason that people can't really see the numbers is because they don't have time, right? And what do I mean by that? You are working in the business every single day. If you're the person who doesn't have any staff, you're an entrepreneur that runs the business. You answer the phones, you answer the emails, you do the pickups, you do the drop-offs, you do the mailing, you do the stamping, you drop off everything at UPS. If you are the person that works in the business, a lot of times you don't have the ability to look at the business from outside looking in. So you can't even just know the numbers. You also got to be able to take yourself out of the business. So you need to create a system that helps you be able to scale. And the only way to do that is by building a team. And building a team does not have to be expensive. I know people make it seem like that, but you do not have to spend a lot of money to find good help. People like myself use virtual assistants from the Philippines, where the cost of living in the Philippines is a lot lower than in the USA. So we can pay them from $2, $3, $4 an hour and less if you want to. But minimum wage, above minimum wage is $3 an hour, $4 an hour. So what I'm telling to you is you can find great help from people that are willing to work long hours and reach out to more customers than people that will be in the US that you would pay $25 an hour. So case in point, if I want somebody simply to answer emails, answer phone numbers, and do customer service and customer retention, I can pay them $3 an hour. I can set them up on a computer, literally make a Google Office spread to where they can answer all my emails. And I will be able to go out there and dissect my business because I don't got to worry about missing emails. I don't got to worry about missing phone calls. I don't got to worry about dropping the ball on a location, on a schedule. They literally can plan my whole scheduling. Does that make sense? I don't have to worry about the things that y'all are worrying about where you can't see what's going on in your business. Some of y'all are working so hard right now because you can't see where you're messing up in your business. Right? So this is why it's important to learn these things. It's bigger than just looking like you got a business or telling people that you run a company. If you set up a system and pay somebody $3 an hour, that's all you got to start off. You don't got to start off paying them 40 hours a week. Start off with paying them 20 hours a week at $3 an hour. And that literally will help your business scale right from there because you're going to be able to see where you fucking up. You're going to be able to see where you're overspending. You're going to be able to see what you really didn't need because before you couldn't see it because you was working so damn hard. All you was worried about is making sure you get there at 9 o'clock. All you was worried about was making sure you filled the deal. You gave good customer service because you got to make sure you answering the phone, answering emails, dropping off, picking up. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So knowing your numbers isn't enough. We got to get kind of obsessed with being good and being great and making ourselves more valuable, right? Somebody said, how do you get in contact with the team? You can go to places like where I went to hire my VAs. You can go to Fiverr. You can go to Upwork. And my favorite is onlinejobs.ph. And there's even Facebook groups with virtual assistants from the Philippines that you can join. And you can put job postings inside that Facebook group and hire people who can do work from anywhere in the world. So it's not like it's difficult to do. You can go make an account with onlinejobs.ph. You do have to pay for that. And then once you put the job posting up, you're going to have an abundance of people that reach out to you that are interested in the position. But first thing, before you go there to do that, make sure you guys go to ChatGPT and create what's called, hold up, please repeat it. You're going to have to keep up. It's a free game. You're going to have to keep up. So I want y'all to go to ChatGPT and I want y'all to make an interview script. Everybody write interview script. Because a lot of y'all have never done any HR work. A lot of y'all don't have any experience with hiring. A lot of y'all don't have any experience with doing this type of fulfilling positions. So if you do not, you're going to need some help. So go to ChatGPT and then create an interview script. All right. Everybody write interview script and I can move on. I got to make sure y'all paying attention because people already behind the curve. And y'all know in the free game, I say what I want, I do what I want, and I get the fuck up out of here. So you better pay attention while I'm on here. You understand? Interview script. Let's go. Interview script. Okay. So now after you go to ChatGPT and you tell them to create, all you got to do is right there, create an interview script for an admin position. That's it. Executive assistant position, job, interview script. And then also the second thing you want to make, you want to have a job description. So give me a job description for executive assistant. And then literally as soon as you do that, it's going to give the job description. So when you put up your job posting, you can put the job description in the posting and literally they're going to see exactly what you think is going to be needed for them, the job requirements for the job. So when they literally are going to come and see the job posting, they know exactly what they're signing up for. You know what they're signing up for and what they're expected to do. And then you have an interview script to interview a person for executive assistant position that you have word for word to be able to ask them questions and get them onboarded. But if you're going to use one of the websites, which I enjoy, which is onlinejobs.ph, what I want for you guys to do is to request them to send a video of them describing their self. Okay? What their name is, what their experience is, and one thing that we should know as a business owner before we hire them. That's going to get you to hear how good they speak English. That's going to let you hear their dialect. That's going to let you see if they're competent or incompetent before you even give them an interview. So a part of the job posting is you're going to require them to send you a video with them describing themselves. Very simple, easy tool to separate the people from the riffraff, okay? It's going to be a couple people in there that might not be as experienced, and we are starting as low as $3 an hour. You're going to attract some people that may or may not be the best, but you can find really good people, because this is what I do. Whenever I do an interview, I always let people know that this is how I work. If I hire you and you make me better, you're up for a raise. If I hire you and you keep us the same, we might have to retrain you. If I hire you and you make us worse, we're going to have to let you go. Very simple. I let them know that. They know my expectations, and I'm deadly serious about it. You hire slow, you fire fast. You find people, and you got to be able to train them. Don't just have them on there and then not be able to train them on what to do, and then have them expected to follow rules that they never seen. So you are going to need an SOP. Everybody write SOP. Everybody write SOP in the chat. Everybody write SOP in the chat. Somebody said giving away too much game for free. I do the free game. I do this shit daily, yo. But, you know, you can't have it curated to yourself unless you get signed up for the mentorship. They're not going to show you how to do it personally for you where you are. It's totally different. But right now, I'm just saying whatever I want. So everybody say SOP. Now, when you are hiring someone and you literally give them a position, and let's say you got through the interview phase that I just told y'all about. You gave them the job description. You had the script. They did great on the interview. Now it's time to hire them and onboard them. Now, once you onboard these people, you're going to have to give them the SOP. The SOP is standard operating procedures. So if you are not around, this is the most important part. If you are not around, if they can't talk to Pushmanmitch, they have a guideline to go to see what the exact steps is to handle a situation. So whatever the situation is going on, they don't need to talk to me. They just can go to the SOP book and say, oh, if this happens, I have to send off this email. If this happens, I can give them this amount of money off. I can give them 10% off. If this happens, I can do this. SOP has everything, the rules and regulations for their position, and you don't have to talk to them. That's the way you can have the freedom, because you are hiring and giving them standard operating procedures. Okay. So now, after that, you give them the SOPs. Mitch, how do I keep track of these people? What if I'm just paying them hourly, and how do I even know how many hours they work, right? So you have to use an app. It's called Time Doctor. All right. Everybody use the website Time Doctor. Put it in the chat. I'm giving y'all a game right now. Come on now. It's early morning. I ain't did a live in like 2 days. Come on now. Everybody write Time Doctor in the chat. You got to use Time Doctor. All right, let's go. I need to see this written down. I need 100% participation, or you don't deserve this game. You deserve to get field goal. Get him out of here. Time Doctor. Time Doctor is the website that I use for my virtual assistants to clock in and clock out. Not only can they clock in and clock out on Time Doctor, but I can also look at their screen. I can also see their screen and see if they're not doing any work or if they're doing work. I can see how often that their mouse didn't move. I can see exactly what's going on. So if they're trying to play around while they're on a clock, they will easily get fired, reprimanded, or have to get we have to have an interview to say what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? They can clock in, clock out, and I can see how much activity they've had. So they can go ahead and as soon as it's time for their shift, they clock in, and it's time for them to leave, they clock out. And I can easily pay them hourly, okay? $3 an hour, $4 an hour, $5 an hour. It's easily affordable if you're making money. And also, when you first hire them on, they're going to be 2 weeks in the hole. So I only pay the 1st and the 15th. So really, they really won't get paid for pretty much until a month out. So they're going to earn their money before you even pay them. Does that make sense? So they'll already be clocking in. They'll be working for 2 weeks in a hole. They don't get paid until, the end of the month. So now you're going to see their worth. They're going to be working. You're going to be making more money. You're going to have more free time. You're going to be more proficient because you won't be missing emails. You won't be missing text messages. You won't be missing phone calls. They'll be able to get everything. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you got somebody that is productive. So that's why you got to have Time Doctor for them to clock in and see their productivity. Now, how do they get paid, Mitch? I get it. They live overseas, but when I went overseas, I couldn't use Cash App. I couldn't use Zelle. So how do I pay these people? Easy. You can use PayPal if you want to, but I would tell y'all to use what I use, which is a website called Wise. WISE. I use Wise because my employees get to take home more, PayPal takes out more fees when you pay them. So I want my employees to make as much money as they can when I transfer the money. So I use a website called Wise to pay them. WISE. Everybody write Wise. I'm giving y'all game. I'm giving y'all too much game. And some of y'all still don't know the level of swag that I come through when I be teaching y'all stuff. It's a different level of G. You underdig? 2024 is going to be different. My mentees already know this stuff, so don't worry about it. My mentees already hip to the game. So y'all going to learn about this very, very soon. So now, you use Wise to pay them. Now, next thing. After you get them on payroll, you already got them, pretty much got them set up in a system called Wise. You already get them clocking in, clocking out. Now, you have to have a way that you give bonuses, okay? So it depends on what they're doing and what you want to give raises for. But me, I normally start my employees off at $3 an hour. And then if they do well, I give them a raise immediately if they're doing good and they're picking up what they're putting down. I'm literally going to pay them $4 an hour or $5 an hour. And I'm going to give them raises as they do good because you literally are going to have the best type of employees. You're going to find the best ones. Now, I'm going to tell you something to make sure you have a productive team. I would say hire 3 people at once. Remember this jewel. I'm about to give y'all something very, very smooth. Remember this jewel. Hire 3 of them at once. And I'm going to tell you why. Hire 3 of them at once. And also, you want to have a system where everybody can be talking to each other and we all know what's going on. Any updates you can use Telegram. You can use an app called Slack. It's a bunch of different platforms you can use to communicate with your staff over there. I use Telegram. I put them in a Telegram group. We all admins. We sit there and talk to each other. And I can make sure everything that needs to be communicated about the business is communicated there. If we need to, if everybody needs to have a meeting, I could drop a Zoom link right there and we all can jump on a call. So I use Telegram. But I hire 3 of them at once. Why? Because I already plan to fire 2 of them. Unless all 3 of them are elite. I already plan to fire 2 of them or 1 of them. I'm gonna fire 1 of them because they need to understand that you will be fired if you're not stepping up to the plate. I'm going to demand a level of eliteness when they come through. I'm going to demand a level of ambition. So when I hire them, I'm going to let them know, if you make my business better, we're going to give you a raise. If you keep my business the same, we have to retrain you. If you make my business worse, I'm going to have to let you go. And you have to follow through on that promise. I'm going to let you know, if you let 1 of them go within the first 2 weeks of them working, the other 2 are going to be so productive. They're going to work so diligently for you. They're going to be showing up every day, clocking in. They are going to be going so hammer for your business because they know that they could get fired for playing around. You are going to have the most productive people working for you that is possible, okay? Now, once you find someone good, I'm going to tell you another bar. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all a game today. It's early morning. Once you find those 2 elite people or 1 elite person that's really, really fire, this is where you get to hire your dream team. Everybody write dream team on the chat. Everybody write dream team on the chat. Everybody write dream team on the chat. Dream team. This is where you're going to be able to hire your dream team. Once you are able to find someone that is elite, that clocks in on time, that's over delivering, that understands your business, this is where you build the dream team. So now you immediately reach out to that person who's going crazy. You say, yo, you going great, you going crazy. I want to give you a raise. We're going to make you the executive assistant over everybody else. Everybody else is admin assistants. You are now the executive assistant. Okay. So now I want to put you in charge of something else. I'm not sure if you can help with this. You're very, very good at this job, and I appreciate you being here. That's why I gave you the raise. But I also want to task you with finding someone else who are similar to you that might be interested in a job with us. And they're going to say, okay, so you're going to ask them to bring their friends. If they understand your business, I want y'all to understand this. If they understand your business, they know what you like, they know what you don't like, they know that you're going to fire people for bullshitting. If they bring their friends in, are their friends going to bullshit or are they going to come through correct? Because they are the executive assistant. They know what time it is. They know what's going on in the business, and they're going to take it like it's their baby. So when they bring on their homies, they're going to bring some elite folks to work for us. And that's how you build the dream team. Okay? Now, after you build this dream team, you're going to start hiring a couple more people. The new people come in at $3 an hour. And then after they do well, you want to give raises accordingly. Okay? You don't want to keep your people at $3 an hour forever. Not if they good. They deserve to get a raise. And I take pride in paying them more than what they get paid over there normally, right? So now, after you start paying them a good salary, right? And then let's say I bump my executive assistant up to $5 an hour. We do pretty much like a 90-day trial period. So after 90 days of them working for us, we put them on benefits. We give them healthcare benefits. Even over there in the Philippines, we give them healthcare benefits. So not only are they not working for no little baby company, we want them to build with our company. We want them to be around for years. So after 90 days of them proving that they are a hard worker and they about our business, we give them healthcare benefits. Okay? We give them healthcare benefits. We send them a kit that has our shirt of our brand on it, a mug that has a shirt of their brand on it, a lanyard that has our brand on it, so they know that they really work for a real company and they're getting real busy and they're real proud to tell everybody where they from, that they work for our company. We building a dream team, and we want employees that work hard, and we care about our employees. Every one of our employees, we love them to death. I'm telling you, like, we really love our employees. Our staff is real type dream team. But that's how you start to build it. So like I told you, knowing your numbers isn't enough. You have to be able to scale. You have to be able to put yourself in a position to win. So we give them healthcare. And I'm not going to tell y'all the name of that because I don't want y'all to mess up my relationship with the actual place. So I save that for my mentees. I give my mentees the rundown, teach them everything that I do, give them all the plays. But, you know, for y'all, some of y'all might be playing around with the names, and I can't do that. So other than that, we give them healthcare benefits after 3 months of working for us. And again, you want to think about that dream team as real great people, because they are. You're going to think of them as a real benefits to you, because they are. And remember that these are people that have loved ones and families. So you got to realize that this is how you actually build a team. All right. So I want to make sure I gave y'all value already thus far into the live. I broke it down in 2 halves already, but we're going to keep going. Drop a 1 in the chat if you found this live valuable so far. Oh, yeah, we teaching today. I got to get ready for the mastermind. The mastermind coming up like the next week, so I'm trying to get right. Drop a 1 in the chat if you found this live valuable so far. I'm trying to make sure I build some new millionaires this year. I'm trying to make sure I build some new people who retire their mom this year. Trying to build some high income producing society members this year. You understand? This is how it starts. You got to get in the room. You got to stay close to the campfire. A lot of y'all won't hear this information unless I decide to go live. A lot of y'all would have never looked this up unless I decided to go live, unless I decided to post it on YouTube. So y'all understand what y'all missing now. I already know that. So some of y'all need to stop playing around and tap in with the real source, man. We do this every week. I coach at the highest level. I got mentees that I coach from low tier all the way to high tier, which means you could be with me for 6 weeks at the lowest, or you could be with me for 1 year. I no longer sell courses. Clearly, the only way you can tap in with me is you become a mentee. So if you are interested in becoming a mentee of mine and learning how to really become a high income producing member of society, I do want you to DM me the word mentorship. If you got at least 1K to put down, I can get you started today. Only 5 people can get it for the lower point, because I have 2 spots left at 1,500. The rest of your people at the low tier is 2,500. So if you have at least 1K to put down today, I can get you started right away, showing you how to not only be able to know about industries, but know the back end part, the business, the advertising, the hiring, the scaling, the knowing the numbers, and actually the credit part, making sure you are able to be able to make money for not just this year, but for the rest of the time that you run the business, and be making more money every year. That's the thing. Everybody write more in the chat. Everybody write more in the chat. You want to be able to make more every year. You don't want to be in the same place as you was 5 years ago. A lot of y'all right now, literally watching this live, can look at your bank account, and 5 years ago, your bank account look exactly the same. A lot of y'all can look at y'all 5 years ago. The apartment complex that you live in is similar to the apartment complex that you lived in 5 years ago. A lot of y'all can look at y'all damn credit score, and y'all credit score look exactly the way it looked 5 years ago, which means you don't have no new accounts. You don't own any new assets. You're not doing anything new. So if nothing changes, then nothing changes. I want y'all to realize that it takes an ambition to want more. It's more than just knowing the skill. It's more than just Googling something, YouTubing something. You have to be obsessed with winning. I just talked to one of my homies, Neo, and I interviewed him. And I just dropped that interview on YouTube, by the way, so go check it out. But I talked to my boy Neo, and he said he promised to God, because he said one time he had made a lot of money, and then he stopped doing everything that got him there. And then he said he made a promise to God that if he ever got him there again, that he would never drop the ball again. And he said he brought it to either he's going to be successful or he's going to die. That's obsession. To even say something like that, either I'm going to make it work or I'm going to die. So you got to be a little bit more obsessed. You got to be a little bit more than a person who just wants to understand. You got to overstand. You got to be a little more than ordinary. You got to be extraordinary. So the problem I'm seeing is it's not about that y'all are incompetent. It's not that you're not smart. It's not that you're not capable. It's just that you don't want to learn it. You're not obsessed with it. You're not obsessed with growth. You don't think more. You don't think abundance. You don't think freedom. You think just small. Anytime I ask people what their goal is, they say 6 figures. I'll be like, all right, how much? They be like 100K. That's the lowest amount of 6 figures you can have. You say you want to make 6 figures. I say, okay, how much is that? You say 100K. That's the lowest amount of 6 figures you can have. How about 999,000 then? How about 999,000? That's 6 figures. We think so small. We think so scary. We think so like the people that's around us that we don't believe in ourselves enough to get away from the people that's around us. Just like I just said, y'all thinking like the people around y'all. You got to get from around those people and get close to the campfire so you can hear the stories correctly. When you at the campfire and it's real close to the fire, you warmer, you're closer. You can hear what's going on. When you out there in the woods taking a leak, you missing all of the stories. You don't ever get the talking stick to tell your side either because nobody can hear you. It feels like you're drowning out. So I need y'all to realize it's very, very important for y'all to stay close to the campfire. Don't got to be with me. Don't ever get it misunderstood. I want y'all to know something about Pushmanmitch and really register this in y'all brain. I'm always going to advertise and market myself and my business because I believe it's the best. But don't confuse that with the fact that I'm saying you only got to sign up with me or talk to me or be mentored by me. You can go anywhere. Find somebody that's coming back from where you're trying to go. I don't give a damn if a nigga got a Mercedes and you don't got a Mercedes. Go talk to that nigga with the Mercedes and say, bro, I'm trying to get where you at. How can I get there? If you got to work for him, if you got to serve this nigga, if you got to give that nigga free shit, if you got to pay him, do whatever you got to do. Don't let no money stop you from getting to your dreams. Don't let credit stop you from getting to your dreams. Don't let a lack of a circle stop you from getting to your dreams. Just go get it. If you need to get money, to go get something, go get the money. If you got to go get a job, go get a job. But don't make the excuse that, oh, I don't got no money, so I can't get there. I don't got no credit, so I can't learn this. I don't got this. Go get whatever you don't got. That's it. So I'm telling y'all, I don't want y'all to confuse the fact that I'm always promoting myself because I believe in myself. When people try to tell me to be humble, fuck that being humble, fuck humility. Just like my boy Dame Dash said, nobody's going to tell me that I'm doing good. Nobody's going to tell me that I can do it. I got to tell myself that. Y'all not telling me I can do it. Niggas is telling me to shut up, be humble. I got to tell myself I can do it. I can be great. Nobody going to do that for me. So you don't got to tell me to be humble because I don't have to. I don't got to make lesser of myself. I know I believe in myself. I believe in my craft. I believe in my skill set to teach, elevate people, motivate people, teach them, and they want to be similar to myself. That's why I have successful businesses. It's not by mistake. So again, I want y'all to realize this. Don't confuse the fact that I always promote myself with I want y'all to only shop with me. When I'm educating y'all for free, not only does this actually lift up my community, it actually helps people that doesn't want to tap in with me, but it actually lets y'all understand my expertise and it motivates you and exposes you to what the knowledge is. Because guess what? I didn't pay myself to get mentored. I paid somebody else. So you don't only got to go through Pushmanmitch. So please don't confuse that. I hate that people even think that, but I got to let y'all know. Don't confuse that. I didn't pay myself to get mentored. I paid somebody else. And I learned the same thing that I'm teaching you right now from not only experience, but from them, from their mistakes, from their wins, from their triumphs. I got in the rooms with the millionaires. They're not talking the same talk as the people who got fucking food stamps. I'm just being real with you. They're not talking the same talk as the people who are on unemployment. They're talking totally different. The niggas who own millions of dollars in real estate, the conversation is different in them rooms. You can't hear it because you're so worried about the fact that you got to pay to get there. Do whatever you got to do. That's the thing that y'all worried about. Money is not even real. It's just a number. Just think about it. When you look at your bank account, it's just a number that goes up and down. You don't never really even touch it sometimes. It's not even real. So if I got to give a couple of those little imaginary numbers to somebody else to get information to get me more imaginary numbers, I'm going to do that. If I got to go work for a nigga and work for this nigga for free, I'm going to do that. If I got to go drive Uber and Lyft till my fucking arms get tired to get some money to pay this nigga, I'm gonna do that. If I gotta go sell CDs, if I gotta go dance, if I gotta go sing, if I gotta go motherfucking, I don't give a damn what I gotta do, it's just not going to not get done. And that's the difference between the people who are the haves and the have-nots. You gotta have that obsessive mentality. Do whatever you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? The reality is, no matter if what I do is respected or if it's respected or disrespected, I'm going to do it anyway because people hating on me and all I do is positive things daily. All I do is uplift, inspire, impact. There's people who literally selling cheeseburgers on the corner. Selling cheeseburgers at McDonald's, fucking up your cholesterol, giving y'all motherfuckers diabetes and shit with they fucking ice creams, and y'all not hating on them. But at the end of the day, no matter what I do, when I was poor, I was getting hated on. When I was making a lot of money, I was getting hated on. When I was gatekeeping, not telling none of the information, I was getting hated on. When I started giving up information, I was getting hated on. So it doesn't matter what you do or don't do. The thing is, no matter what y'all say or do, no matter how y'all go, who y'all go home and sleep with, whatever, I'm still going to do my thing. I'm still going to do me. And I'm still going to be obsessive about my goals. I'm still going to make a lot of money. I'm still never going to quit. The difference is people don't realize that nobody fails. There is no such thing as failure when it comes to business. Y'all know that, right? There is no such thing as failure when it comes to business. Nobody fails. They just quit. That's it. My boy Neil said, either it's going to work or I'm going to die. Nobody fails at business. It's just the niggas who keep going and the niggas who quit. Me and my homies, we kept going. And we going to keep going. And then when it's a pandemic, we're going to keep going. And then when it's after a pandemic, we're going to keep going. And then when it's a fucking Hurricane Katrina, we're going to keep going. And then when it's the 2008 market crash, we're going to keep going. And then when they start hating on us and shit and talking bad about us, we're going to keep going. And then when I lose a little bit of money, I'm going to keep going. And then when I lose a little bit of credit, I'm going to keep going. When they start spreading rumors and they put you on the blog, I'm going to keep going. Doesn't matter. I've been through worse. It doesn't matter. I've been through worse. I've been broke. I've been so broke, I had to lie on a food stamp application. I've been so broke, I had to lie on an unemployment application. I've been so broke, I had to wait till I got to work to eat the free lunch there. I've been so broke, had to live in a chick house and a chick had to work at Applebee's and steal from Applebee's to come bring me food at the crib. I've been through worse. Y'all think I give a fuck about a nigga talking about something like this or hating on me or saying, no. Remember, it don't matter what happens. Get it done. Whatever it is that you want, get it done. Don't let nothing stop you. If y'all letting a little bit of money stop you from getting to a higher cost, look, y'all got to think about it. And I want y'all to really hear me when I say this. If you only do things that you can afford, and this just is being real as can be. If you only do things that you can afford, how will you ever be able to have a life that you can't afford? And that's going to go over your heads. If you only do shit that you can afford, think about it. You can't afford, look, when you go to get a job, you can't even afford that. Y'all know that, right? When they start hiring you for a job in the US, they put you 2 weeks in the hole. Before you went to go to that job, you had to go through the application interview process. All that time, you ain't got no money coming in. You broke. So you can't afford to go work 2 weeks in the hole without being paid. But you do it anyway. And then when you do that, it pays off because eventually you get the delayed gratification of the work that you put in 2 weeks or a month ago and the interview and all that job search you've been doing. You can't afford that. You can't afford that. But just think about it like this. If you only did things that you could afford, like all I can afford really is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to do shit that you can afford. When you go out to the club and you buy some drink and you know that you got to wait for your check 2 weeks from now to be right, You doing shit that you can't afford. When you go out to eat at that fancy dinner, you can't afford that because you ain't rich. You already in a hole. I want y'all to really think about this. So when it comes to mentorship, conferences, masterminds, when it comes to networking events, when it comes to you got to travel out of state to go do something, to go meet a person, to go meet an opportunity. Don't not do it because you can't afford it. No, the only way that you ever going to become successful or be able to overachieve is you got to do some shit that you can afford. You got to do that. So people be telling me, like when somebody try to sign up for mentorship with me, I'm telling y'all, tell me in the chat right now. I deny people every day for mentorship. I say, no, you can't be in my mentorship. Somebody in this chat probably been told no by me. But I'm going to tell you this right now. People come to me asking me about mentorship, and then I tell them the price, and they start stuttering and backstepping and don't want to do it. You was never serious in the first place. Because if I tell you how much it costs, and you say, all right, cool, I don't want to do it if it's that price, that means you didn't really want to do it. Because I don't care if it's Louis V, if it's Jordans, if it's Nikes, if it's a car. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get that car. I don't got enough money to go buy that car. If I can't buy it, I'm going to finance that shit. I want to go to college. I don't got enough money to pay my tuition. I'm going to finance that shit. I don't got enough to buy my iPhone, and I want to call niggas on my smartphone. I'm going to finance that shit. I'm going to figure out a way to get that shit done. It's not how much it is. It's like, how am I going to get in that bitch? I don't give a fuck what you charging. But the problem is, once somebody tell me that, I know you're not serious. You got to want this shit bad. You got to want a level. It's not just the information. You got to mirror me. I got to get you to borrow my confidence. It's not just the information. You got to be confident from me giving you my confidence. Look, I did that before. You can do it too. Because y'all be Googling shit all the time. Y'all YouTube shit all the time. And the information is correct. But since you don't got the confidence to go do the play, and nobody who's mentoring you, who you look up to, who you can look around and point to and talk to has said, you can do it too. Everybody around you saying, nah, that shit ain't gonna work. You don't got nobody to borrow their confidence from. So the information on YouTube is correct, but you don't got nobody confidence to steal from. So you ain't gonna go do the play. Y'all been YouTubing shit for fucking 20 years. Y'all been Googling shit for 20 years. You still ain't gonna do the play because you ain't confident enough to go do it. Because you really didn't get mentored. You got free game, and it wasn't worth the sacrifice for you to go make sure it works. That's why people got to pay for mentorship. Not just because a nigga need to get paid. Yes, I get paid for a mentorship. I'm supposed to, nigga. I'm good. I'm good at it. I'm very good at it. The people who pay me once, they learn how to get paid forever. It's a scam to me. I'm the one that gets scammed. Because if you pay me and you take my skills and I got to pay that one time and you keep getting paid for every year ever since that you live on this earth, who's getting scammed? Me. You got people that made $1 million in 10 months under my mentorship. So what I want y'all to realize is it's bigger than what y'all thinking. Y'all got to think bigger. Exposure equals expansion. And if you want to expand, you got to expose yourself to more shit. It's not going to happen in the hood, homie. Trust me. Everybody's story is the same. Oh, I made this big move and I left here and I did this and then I blew up. Oh, I moved in here. I had to live in my car and I blew up. The stories are all the same. They never do that shit in their hood. They never do it with they day one friends. It doesn't happen. Somebody else has to come into the picture that's outside of that environment and expose you to something that can help you expand. Drake had to leave Toronto. That nigga went down to Texas and blew up. It's a reality. Don't matter how you look at it, where you point to, it's always going to be the same exact thing. So all I'm going to say is this. First 5 people DM me mentorship. I'm giving y'all the 5K mentorship for $1,500. If you don't got $1,500, don't DM me mentorship. Peace to the Middle East. Everybody else, y'all know, hit me up when y'all got that 5K. I'm going to show y'all how to get 5K every fucking day. Peace. I'm out. Love. Y'all already know what it is.